Alright. Welcome. If you're probably watching this right now, I decided to make a late live stream. We call it this talking discussion live, which basically the only reason why I did not do it as an episode was the fact that because again, this is why I'm having this live discussion right now. Apparently, if you're familiar with reviews, and let me go ahead and put up something so you can probably see what I'm talking about. Let me see if it works. Yes, it does. This is exactly what's happening throughout my entire new reviews. So even though I could send, make a video episode showing them, I'm not gonna deal with this no more. I'm confirming this right now that copyright has officially ended my scenes, like my reviews. Actually, that's what I mean. It ended my reviews. I'm no longer gonna make reviews because of the fact that copyright has completely destroyed them. And that's why I wanted to have this discussion, so while I'm live playing, basically, so that way there's not just me talking, but you're entertained at least with something as I discuss over and over what's really going on in the situation. Okay, so with that being far, the game I'm going to be playing live with this discussion will probably be Halo Infinite, since it's the new event going on. So I'm hoping that things are not going to get really too far down. But since everything is simply going well, I did it on Twitch. It shouldn't have a problem. I mean, I could try to make sure everything's running smooth. But since I am gonna be talking, I might as well just test it out, see how it runs, and if everything goes smoothly well, I'll find out how it works. Yeah, it looks like I might have to do some fixing. Well, the good news is that I have my little handy dandy little fixer, so I can fix it up. So why I'm having this discussion right now is apparently there was a situation. If you're familiar with what is going to call it reviews, many YouTubers do this all the time, because I usually did my reviews just based on talking, but things did not turn out the way I presented it and hoped. And this attack started when I did that recent Demon Slayer season 2, where half of parts of it were cut and trimmed, and it kind of like messed up my review, because you hear me at one end, but then it cuts off and talks about something entirely different, like what happened to that part. So it took me a couple of days to figure out what the heck happened, but all of a sudden it started hitting me in other reviews that I was doing, and it just wasn't doing good, to the point where I was like, I had enough. I don't really blame the industry. I blame the machine that's doing the copyright system. That's what I blame. Their machine that's doing it automatically can't read or detect things anymore. And then now with the manual claiming thing rather than reviewing or seeing my content is really hitting a lot. I mean, you could look at the perfect example of the Angry Joe. If you've seen his movie to TV show reviews, he's getting attacked left and right by manual claims to automatic claims, and they're just getting out of hand. And he always talks about experiences why his fair use is being messed up. These companies and the machine is not letting you do these reviews that well unless it's pure talking. So it's already like damaging, if you're trying to entertain somebody, you're trying to show pictures or videos, it's not going to happen. That's what's going on right now. So this is the reason why I wanted to say a story about this and why I'm making this also announcement that I will not be continuing making movie reviews or TV shows. And it's because this copyright system is just broken. It will not do. Even if I just show no audio and video, even if I show just a picture, someone or some company is going to claim that and take out my review from being seenable. Even when it's after it's released, they're just gonna do it. They're not gonna hesitate. The system is broken. It doesn't even give them penalties for people who talk about the stuff. So I'm here like trying to figure out what can I do, and I tried everything, and as I figured it out, I just realized there's just no use. So as I was like scrolling through, looking around at this situation at hand, I started to come to my own terms, and it came to my realization that all of this copyright system, all of this situation that's unfolded, it's really hitting not just to me but a bunch of YouTubers. That's why no one does a lot of like trailer reactions that much anymore, or when they're doing, they have to mute the sound. But even though then their channels are getting hit really badly, I'm just in total shock that it's not only just me, but it's many of us who are trying to just review something, give our own opinions, give our own feedback, and the only way we can do it now is through writing on Google. That's where our reviews are going now, because there's just no way we can just post things on YouTube without a strike or a claim hitting our video and our channel. I mean, if you watched the talking discussion episode 23, where Aplex was just attacking me over scenes that were just basically showing trimmed things and entertaining, at first I can understand why they did that, but only until I found out that they're also doing it to the fair use, that's when it hit me, and I couldn't stay no longer quiet. That's when I knew something's wrong here. Like, this isn't right. Why are they attacking people who are just presenting something or showing that, hey, it's something that's in the fair use category? That right there hit me, and that's why I was made that episode in the first place. Look, I don't blame what they're trying to do. The situation is that I feel like these companies and this system is not working anymore to give us what we want. And what I mean about that, they're not like helping us out to ensure that we can get this thing done a little bit right. So it's really like in a difficult situation where I'm basically struggling. That's what's happening. And you could say, again, anybody can say what they want, they could do whatever they want, but for me, I personally really would like my reviews to be a little bit more into showing pictures at least, or videos. And if I can't show that, what's the point? I'm barely just talking with an anime picture, but that's fine too. But again, I usually want to do those if I'm just talking about stories or talking about something that's just presenting, like, rather if I'm doing like live gameplays from icon movie references to doing some sort of like quick review, quick discussion. And I do like that, but I want to put something presenting cool with it. And if I can't do that, then what's the point? Let me see if I can lower this so it won't be too loud. Okay. Just testing it. So that's the only reason why I just realized, yeah, it's becoming a disaster. The most issue that I'm having during this situation, because I know that a lot of people are probably asking what the hell is going on. But the most situation that I think that has to be told here and has to be looked at is a situation that I'm mostly looking at from my own perspective. I mean, anybody who's just looked at my side and saw that I was like basically doing this, I forgot what it was. If you're looking at the reviews and doing whatever it is that you want to talk about, whether it's a movie, a TV show, it comes at a real cost if you whatever it is presenting. Like for example, when I was doing Demon Slayer season 2, and this was like way back, I was trying to talk about, you know, how cool the characters were, and some of them were good and bad. Even though I did have messed up a little bit of the names, I was trying to present it in a way that give my own opinion, my own feedback to the TV show. And all of a sudden, like out of a couple of days later, I get this slap of a claim, and this claim was really like doing some damage to my channel. Don't get me wrong, everyone gets claims, but when I found out the claim was just because of this little part of showing a picture, that's where it hit me. Like, wait a minute, this is a picture. What is going on here? Why am I getting claimed over a picture? That right there, I felt like something was not right. Why would I get claim of a picture? And I started realizing that, you know, when you're having claims of picture or something, just, you know, some is not right, there's a possibility chance something may be not working or communicating clearly with the machine or the manual claim. And I feel like that it was a manual claim. Excuse me. Oh man. So I think what's going on is YouTube's not helping people with manual claims at all, especially when you do your best to create it authentic and in your own review. If you add a picture or a video, you're basically fucked. That's all I'm saying. You're screwed. There's no way you can go drive over it. There's no way you're gonna able to override that. They're just taking your thing down just like that. So I had to do is I came to my own thoughts, and I just realized I had to, you know, trim those things out, which they took a while. It's like maybe about a week for it to come back, because it was a very long review, not too long, but it was a little long. So it took me like maybe a couple of days to get it back up and running. After when it was trimmed out, it felt so weird to have it cut off. It's like it doesn't make any sense anymore. You have me talking about one opinion, and then afterwards I'm talking about totally something different that doesn't even explain right. And it's like, what the heck happened here? Like, YouTube couldn't even just, you know, put it black screen. They just had to straight out just made me trim the entire thing. That doesn't feel authentic or a full review anymore. It feels like just an incomplete like opinion. It came back to my own senses, and it just decided, you know what, it will just be best that I just do not do more reviews, because with each one I upload, they were getting much worse than that one, where even if I was showing a video or picture, they wouldn't want it up there, period. Like, they wanted me to edit the whole thing again without it. Now, I did have in the past some which did feel like just talking pure by itself, but that's all you heard, and sometimes it worked, but most of the times it didn't. And that's when I realized, it's just best I just don't do them anymore. That's why I'm kind of upset with YouTube about this, mostly the company, for not figuring out a way to help these viewers, trying to make their at least their review entertaining. Because what in Angry Joe's side, when he was doing his reviews, he had uploaded 6 to 7 times for a single episode review, because he was always getting manual thing over videos and pictures. I even had to get his feedback, my own feedback to him, telling what you can do to make it better. And I tell him just try to only add pictures by itself to see what happens. Well, I don't know if he did hear me, but I know off the bat that something happened. But I think what he did, he used a filter for his video and maybe flipped it upside down. That's probably what he did, because I seen a filter doing that, and he left it as an example what happens when someone messes up the fair use. So far, a lot of channels, it's not just me, have been getting hit with this problem, and my own personal thoughts, it should be addressed and evaluated if we're gonna make this right. Oh, great. We're at losing right now. Damn. Okay. Looks like they got a point. So, after seeing those reviews and many other people, I decided to officially just announce that the end of my cutscenes have to happen. I know I wish I could continue doing reviews as possible, but the way the situation is going up there with them, the way their policy is doing, it's not really feeling like a way that I can just review something without getting a copyright claim or hit. And I fear that now that the strike from Apex is putting some sort of warning to YouTubers that this is going to get worse from here on out. I don't want to be responsible or putting my own channel in jeopardy where I can only upload 15-minute videos every single time, and that's going to really hurt my channel, as I usually like uploading more than that. So that way, like an example, you have the blogs that I do with Disneyland, and I don't want to have only 15 minutes of that. That's going to be depressing. I want to have a full blog video that I can put it however long I wanted to, because that's the cost of risk that you with the copyright strike that happens. It already happened to one of my channels, and I had nothing else to do but to leave it there until it expires. But this is a perfect example why this stuff happens a lot, and it really breaks me down. That I just do not enjoy this at all. It looks like I finally got it. Alright, that should be easy. Okay. So, if you're probably asking me why all this conversation, why not make an episode, I wanted to make this quick because I still got to review something that came in the package. At the same time, there is a lot of extra Disneyland scenes that I still want to do. So, I want to make sure I can balance between both of them, because I don't want to put two Disneyland at once. I want to have some sort of separator. And I think by doing a package review should be able to suffice. Though I still have to figure out what else I do, because I have to be careful and not making things a mess. So that's why I always keep everything in check and everything running. Though it really is sad to see that when these TV shows like the new one that just recently came out, Obi-Wan Kenobi, or called Kenobi series, I want to make a review so badly, but the way that the system is, fearing me that something bad or something not looking good could happen to my channel, that I don't want to risk that. Same thing with the trailer reviews. I stopped doing those because the claims continue endlessly hitting my channel all the time. And even though if I can mute them, they're still getting hit. Now with Spider-Man, with the first copyright strike happening from Aplex, it's really putting us on the edge for entertainment. It's really scary. I will probably leave in the end screen after the end of this video with the discussion showing what's going on. It's really like getting out of hand with the way that the system of the copyright is going. It's become a disaster to me, in my opinion. It's not been really being fair with the fair use, and it's just creating this bad attention to us. It's still difficult to figure out what we can do next. It really is. Though all our voices need to start being heard, because if we don't do this with all our voices, there's possibility chance we're gonna be in deep water and trouble. Looks like I took those 2 points. Game reviews are different, but again, you know, Nintendo is really strict when it comes to those type of stuff. It really gets really strict when you're doing things really badly. So my advice for people who like reviews, don't put any pictures or videos. They're just gonna get claimed. And if you're gonna do a review, you need to probably have like more than 1 million subscribers, basically. So at least 1 million subscribers can help a lot. Oh shoot, I'm getting hit. Damn. They already got me there. So far, no discussions because I barely have any subscribers going on right now, or it's probably so because it's so late. Though I still want our voices to be heard as much as possible, because the way that the situation is unfolding is just, it's getting out of hand. Oh. Now there's another, I think another story that happened. It was recently back. I think it was the one with Mark Blair. Had like, you know, some sort of like video with like puppets or these mascots hitting somebody in the road, and basically he told the person why didn't he get a copyright strike, and they end up getting a copyright strike eventually. That's how bad it became. So that's how you could tell it's really getting out of hand when it comes to things like that. Especially if you're making a funny money memes or things that show that you show basically other people's videos to other memes out there. It's really getting really difficult on YouTube. And if you're not careful, it can get really out of hand. So that's gonna be mostly the thing I wanted to talk about. How I have to probably tell this another time later, but the way the situation is unfolding is just, it needs more fixing and more help, in my opinion. My opinion also is, if we can't get, you know, people to help with our situation, it will get out of hand. I can tell you that right now. Oh. So our own objective should be this. If everyone can have our voices heard out, if everyone can have our feedback heard out, I think we can make a huge difference, a huge difference. And I'm not talking about, oh yeah, let's just maybe throw in something like just talking about this and this and that, and you know, at the end of the video be like, okay, and this is why we have to share this. No, we have to have our voices heard. That's what needs to happen. Yes, I agree 100% off the bat. Aplex is a one that's manually hitting people with any No Way Home content. I agree 100% off the bat. That's why I can't even do a commentary. If I were to do a commentary on this channel with the scenes without audio, I bet you anything they will attack my videos and put a strike on me for having that footage in the first place. That's why I don't want to do that. I was planning to, but now with the Aplex giving strikes, it's like I can't do it. It's impossible. It's to the point where it's really gonna get out of hand, and this is why our voices need to be heard. With many YouTubers out there can, like, at least if they're to demonstrate, can line up with so many videos to strike some sort of like voice to be heard on many platforms. I bet you anything it'll get YouTube's attention to finally say they had enough with this and agree off the bat. They don't even own the rights. They're not the owners, and yet YouTube's allowing them to do this. That's where it gets me really, really angry. So it's not just movie reviews, it's anything related to contents like that. My own episode from someone who's really good at this speech. He has his, if you go to the hashtag, his original video that shows what he looks like and how his picture is. And his was like uploaded like 4 months ago. He basically showed everything and evidence that this company is manually attacking people regardless of what kind of content they're creating. As long as it's related to that thing, it's completely like 100% off the bat going to not only ruin the reputation of the YouTuber, but also ruin the reputation of their channel. And that right there is just plain out like awful. It's just it hits me so much, and like this is pure evil. It's a criminal thing now. Like, you're allowing them to use the option and abuse it. It just stings me to know this day that, everything's getting much worse as we're going forward, and as YouTube is evolving, it's getting more stricter. And that's why I had to no longer do any more reviews or trailer reactions because of that. That I'm getting hit by them. It's really, really sad. The whole idea aspect that the YouTube has become is not becoming a platform that's made off of like safe for people to just make whatever they want, create whatever they want, and just post whatever they want without some kind of consequences to that post. It's just it's heartbreaking. I agree, it's a scam, and yet it's still somehow out there allowing the company to do this type of stuff. So, because the machine can only do so much. I found a way to go or get away with some songs and music went through copyright by changing the song. And what I did in Adobe Premiere is I had to literally adjust, make changes to the music, and throughout it, maybe tone it down, slow it down, fasten it, even faster it up, make it pasting so sort of special sequence, and that changed the song entirely so the machine won't recognize it. But when it comes to manual, you have no control over that. They're just gonna do whatever they want, whether they feel like it, and it's just completely off the bat eat whatever like thing you have left of your own rights and take it away from you. So you can't really go like protect yourself from that, because there's no protection for you, especially when you had the fair use. They're just gonna do it. That would really like killing a lot of YouTubers nowadays. Just the whole concept of this is just outright bad. This is why we have to start uploading. Everybody that has been hit has to start making videos and putting a hashtag in it. At the same time, getting YouTube's attention. If we were to do that with a lot of hashtags to YouTube team, because there's a way you could do it on Twitch. I did it before. I put the hashtag Team YouTube. Oh, excuse me. I did it with the hashtag, and if many YouTubers do this with their hashtags talking about Aplex and the way the situation is going on, it will be like that one that they heard from the other YouTuber earlier with the Aplex did the same with this cake thing that was happening, and a lot of YouTubers were complaining to the point where it got to YouTube's attention where they got in trouble. And in the consequences, they probably removed those claims that Aplex did, and they decided to completely probably give them the strike and telling them that you have crossed the line and you did something you shouldn't have done, and now you're going to pay the price. Yes, I can agree. They took their lives, putting there, and they're deleting it from Aplex is just getting rid of all those videos because they just feel like it, or something that they just do not want. They just don't want it in that platform. It's just getting out of hand. From every trailer reaction to movie reviews, it's just not looking good anymore. If I bet you anything, Angry Joe were to do some sort of like some scenes from No Way Home right now, as he commentates it or whatever it may be, Aplex will go after it. I 100% off the bat, Aplex will attack him because YouTube has no control over this, and unless our voices could be heard and throughout, because I did post a video with it's saying which my videos getting taken down and they're been blocked and also removed by showing the picture in the video. I had to have their Aplex logo so people will know who's the one responsible for that. And so far it only got like 110 views because no one has been watching it because there's other cutscenes that have it. So in this hope that everyone could do something like similar to mine's, in the hope that we can spread the situation that's been going on, I think we can finally get some answers and finally get some way to get help that YouTube could say enough is enough and take out, like remove these guys away from this platform that they're doing so badly and trying to think that this is going to be okay for them, and it's not. Because again, all it takes is a whole entire YouTube community and Aplex is finished. They're done. They were like, no, you've been harming so many people with fair use content related to this character. And all they're showing is basically their talks, their feedbacks, and the way that they're handling it has been crossing the line. You're done. You're out of this platform. That's what needs to happen. But it will only work by many people out there who's willing to spread it. And that's why I still believe that we have a chance to do that. Because most of my discussions, most of my reviews want to, have our own feedback. And yet, this is why I don't want to do it no more. Because these claims are just getting out of hand. And I could say this off the bat. It's only getting worse from here without our voices being heard and speaked out. It's more like a reckoning that they're trying to create for us. And I just feel like that they're just not putting us in with a good attention for that. Even though I could do whatever it is I want to do, I bet you anything, it's not going to be that in the future that we're now going to have problems where you want to spread this, you want to make this. Guess what? There's going to be always a claim waiting for you to be some sort of like telling you won't be able to show this in public because of that. Or this company doesn't want you because they don't like this, that. It's like now it's just getting ridiculous. And I had enough with And that's why I'm ending, the movie reviews, trailer reactions, anything that's related to that on this channel, on the Orlock 425, because these companies and the way the system is on YouTube is broken. It's a disaster. There's no fair use anymore, and I believe that's my own opinion. There not even once that I can get some sort of chance if they can't even aware any of the situation that's going on with us. They're just gonna continue letting these companies have it. That's what's happening right now. So until they fix that, all we can do is shut out our voices and get as many people as much as possible. This is the main reason why I don't like at all put any of those No Way Home things in there, especially when I know the consequences for that, because I still know that they're gonna get striked. If that's why I was testing some commentary so far. My solo commentary hasn't got strike because Disney is, friendly now, since in the past I've been talking about them and they finally woke up and they've been friendly with me. But when it comes to now the new ones, it's getting not easy anymore to get through it. I could be talking about this all day and every day, but so far, this is my own opinion. This is the way that things are running, and it's just getting really bad. In other language, they've been finding ways to do it. I'm shocked. I am really shocked. And you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking that just because, it's another country, that Aplex may have did do that, but they may have came with documents or some sort of claim, because I remembered I tried to get back one of my scenes from No Way Home that I trimmed so hard, and they said that I didn't have the necessary rights, and I was shocked. I'm like, what? The necessary rights? Like, they couldn't help me, basically. But I thinking that these Spanish things had maybe some sort of necessary rights, because they could have been taken off the bat. There's even some channels that still have like their scenes being played. So I'm thinking they have probably necessary rights with some sort of documents that may have helped them. That's what I'm thinking right now. But if we're talking about like the fair use situation, that is crossing the line. And off the bat, I still know that even though I tried so hard to make this like situation work, like I try to make as much as possible to get my thing running, I still had some situations where it just would not look good. I just knew off the bat that I have to give up. I can't fight with this, because the system on YouTube just won't not work, no matter how hard I tried. It's kind of depressing too. I look at this, I'm like, I'm doing everything I can to figure out what strategies, what ways can I help my channel that doesn't, like, can I just post a picture and just talk about it through the entire thing? Can I just post one clip without any audio showing a loop to the exact same thing that just shows maybe a couple of seconds to see if that works? And yet failures after failures of uploading didn't even make sense of having that work. So none of the reviews or none of the things did not come out right because of that. Every movie scenes or every movie reviews I've did and trailer actions just got just claimed and ruined completely over this system. And so I decided the time has come for me to just put the white flag and say, I'm done. I'm not doing it anymore. Because that's how the way that this system's working now, and it's only getting worse from here on out. The feelings that I'm having is just pure sadness, and that's why not a lot of like people are just. Well, I'm not talking about mostly none of this that's happening. I agree. I agree off the bat. They're just letting them get away with it. And all I could do is just do whatever I can, which is blogging, gaming. I can't do any reviews. I can't make my own opinions. Or I can't even put reactions to trailers. Because now that the system is getting worse, I have to completely give up on it. So there's only so much I could do before things just don't necessarily have a chance anymore. Ooh, I didn't like that at all. At the end, I'm still hoping that they're still gonna find a way to make things work, and I still hope that they can make things be bright again. Because if this doesn't get fixed, I can guarantee it's becoming a huge nightmare. I even warned in the comments other YouTubers that they have to be afraid of Aplex, that company for sure. Like, there's gonna be companies out there that cross the line. They have to be warned when they're making scenes or they're using their content from the ones that are attacking. Because I could guarantee Aplex will come after them. It's not a fact. It's only a matter of time, because there's a lot of those I'm seeing right now that released it a couple of days after. Like, I could see new ones released just a few days ago, and I have a feeling that sooner or later Aplex will find these videos and they will remove them completely with the strike. I just know this off the bat. Yes, I can agree off the bat, 100%. That they want us to give up, and it's becoming an embarrassment now that you're taking out channels that are based off of fair use, and that doesn't make sense. And then for people who just want to show scenes, maybe they did a hard work trimming it, not copying the original scene. They don't want those to be shown on YouTube in the first place. They just want it completely off of it. So I know off the bat, this is what's gonna happen in the future when movies, those might get attacked too. People are just gonna find another platform to advertise it on, and that's where they're gonna post it up for the rest of it for now on. So they're gonna do that, and it's gonna have a way to be hidden from, like, let's say another country, because that's what VPN does, and that's where people are gonna post their scenes or stuff for content from now on that's related to the films. That's what's gonna happen in the future, and that's where all the scenes are gonna go. And I bet you anything that's where people are gonna have to watch them now instead of YouTube, because YouTube is just not gonna allow this anymore. And that without the help or without the necessary things that you can support, it's just gonna be a broken system. Enough that there's just not gonna be anything to help us in the future to make it right. The steps that YouTube, in order for them to make it right and not letting this thing just go away, if they want people to still show entertainment, they want people to still have that. Because I seen Star Wars channel, I seen the Marvel channel, and they show behind the scenes, they show all this cool stuff, and they own it, and they're making tons of videos. So I don't know why this company thinks that it's harming, when really I can see their channel making tons and tons of views. They're doing fine. They own the content. They're not, having less people. There's so many that are subscribed. They're doing awesome, and they're the ones that create it. So you can tell off the bat There's no problem with them at all. There's not one single problem where they're complaining that, oh, they're getting less views because of these other scenes. No, they're doing perfectly fine. A lot of people watch their content regardless. Even the trailers that they release, they watch it immediately. Yes, it's a disgrace. It's really a disgrace that YouTube's allowing this to happen. So, in my opinion, the steps that YouTube must take in order to fix this is, number one, listen to the feedback of many users, many people out there who want to share their opinions and share their discussions. If they don't do that, that's where they're failing at. And if they can listen for once, they can understand and realize the problem within. And then step two, they need to make a negotiation with this company, put a boundary on them saying what they can do and what they can't do, and give their feedback and saying the truth to them. Because the way that YouTube's handling this is terrible. And that dude that from the talking discussion of episode 23, he talked about in his episode that through his video, when I was listening to the audio, because he has his original one, he said that the company that he put on through Twitter, when he was responded, they didn't even give a crap about whatever he was doing. They just said, oh, well, this is their problem, this is their situation, you have to talk to them, we only could do this, and this is really a situation where they're just doing the same guidelines, the same talkabouts about copyright and the fair use and this and this and that. And it's just like, what the heck is going on here? Like, are you serious? So that right there is just knows that something is terribly wrong. And now we're forced to just deal with this issue, at the same time not be able to do anything about it. I can agree. The it's only gonna get worse from here. And so, how I want to end this discussion before I leave, I want to say this: those who haven't been warned, who are making contents like that, whether it's a movie review, trailer reaction, to any type of content related to that, is just getting much worse. And I'm done as at this point. That I don't want to fall no more to that category. I already tested out the commentary of the whole scenes, and I know it's more of a risk to put them on my channel than just uploading and say hell with it, because I know something bad like this is gonna happen. That's why I made the test playlist to see what happens, and so far not a lot of people are reviewing it at the same time. It's a risky situation, because before the upload, I could tell you this quick story before I end this. When I was uploading this commentary scene, immediately off the bat, I got blocked for that scene. Just purely blocked for both of them. And I was confused. I'm like, wait a minute. There's no audio. It's just my voice. What the hell is going on here? And I only realized the system made an error, so YouTube had to correctly fix that error to open it up. So I knew the system did that regardless. It was just with no audio, because I only had my own voice. So they knew after that something was wrong, and that was already crossing the line. But thank goodness YouTube was able to fix that. But with companies doing manual this, there's no fix. So that's what ended up happening to my cut off of the review from the Demon Slayer season 2. That I had a manual claim, and it completely ruined my discussion. And ever since then, every review, everything has been getting claimed and blocked. And I'm done. I've had it. I'm done with all of that. So that's gonna be it for this live discussion. I did discuss a lot of things, and I'm just really like in a serious shock that this is going on. the way, though I have other opinions and other feedbacks, and I'm glad that I now have a person who has the same issue. And thank goodness, if we can get more people's attention through comments, through telling their own stories, through uploading videos and sending them to Twitch, because you can't just upload and be like, okay, it's gonna get their attention. The only way it gets attention, you have to just, well, after you upload it on YouTube, I do this. I go to Twitter right away and put the hashtag, at the same time put an alt, so you can put Team YouTube, so they notify this and they watch the video completely. So if it happens to more than 1 million users, I bet you anything, YouTube team will had enough with this. They'll go straight to their specialist, say, we gotta fix this situation, we have a problem. Because that's what happened with the cake one, where the company got in trouble, Aplex, where it was taking down a lot of cake videos that are like basically fair use, and they got in trouble by YouTube because a lot of complaints were happening from them. But one day, it will only take one day for everybody's feedback to finally have YouTube say enough, and they'll probably have an happily ever after where Aplex finally gets removed from YouTube permanently. On top of that, it will probably get, since it's a fraud company, they will probably lose out their business to the point where they don't exist anymore from Google. They're like completely removed. And that will be one of the happiest days of our lives if that were to happen. Obviously, that's just a dream. We haven't done that yet because we need more voices to be heard and more people sending it to the YouTube team on Twitch, or I mean Twitter, and that, I think that's gonna be the only way that this can actually make it happen. So again, this was a good discussion. I had amounts of things to talk about, and I probably will leave the end scene probably when this thing is done, showing how much situations happening. Yeah, that's the hashtag you probably will put your videos on, and see if many people can copy that, because there's so many that need to be heard about this terrible situation that this company has done, including other ones out there, so that way, with many of our voices heard, YouTube can put a fix to this and say it enough. Because Angry Joe is another one that got attacked by a different company, and he was using fair use as much as possible, and it was just getting out of hand. I still hate that show, the Halo TV show. It was terrible. It was a disappointment. So I'm not gonna put it as the lore. That's just someone who's just copying that. And then thanks to Angry Joe, it maybe even hates CBS, the ones that are actually doing it more. Maybe hate them because of the way that they're taking down his videos under fair use. That's how bad it was. Thank goodness the Star Trek the views weren't taken down, so at least those survived, because he was showing exactly how bad the show was. So thank goodness those weren't completely removed off of YouTube. Thank you again so much. This was a live talking discussion about this matter. Be sure, if you haven't seen any other content, take a look at them. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel, be sure to do so. And I'll probably see anyone else on anything else that's going on between the matters. It's up and running at this situation at hand. So thank you again so much, and bye bye.